Just leave it like that. All right, Shalawam, Shalawam. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. That's the names of the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. Yahawashi, Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's name. Yah meaning He. Hawa meaning to be or to exist. All right. Once again, that's the Father's name. Bahasham means in the name. And Yahawashi, which is the Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name means He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. All right. Yah, once again, meaning He. Hawashi, meaning to save, to deliver, or is salvation. And then once again, Bahasham, in the name. Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, Sham meaning name. And then Rakah, which means spirit. And Kadash, which means holy. Okay, this is in the Paleo Hebrew. Right? The Lashawan Kadash, Lashawan means language or tongue. And Quadash, once again, means holy. So these are the proper names. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kadash. Alright, in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, okay, the language that we spoke before we went into this colonizer's grasp, the language that we spoke in our land, and the language that will be spoke of, that will be spoke in the kingdom, the language that Yahawashi spoke to Paul, alright, from the heavens. So the language that the angels speak, the language that the Father speaks, the language that the Son speaks. Okay, this is the purest form of language according to Zephaniah 3 and 9. Right, Isaiah 19 and what's that? 18. Right, we shall speak the language of Canaan, which is this Paleo Hebrew, this Lashawan Kadash. We shall speak that language at this point in time. That's a future prophecy, and we're coming back to speak this language, you know. And just knowing the Father's name, the Son's name, and the way to say the Holy Spirit, that's utmost importance because of Matthew 28 and 19. We baptize in those names. So if somebody's not coming in the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kadash, there ain't no Holy Spirit on them because they haven't been revealed, they haven't been given the name, right? Now, hey, this lesson is going to be entitled, oh, and second of all, so I give for that long one, but double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, and Shalawam to the Lord's for elect. All right. This lesson is going to be entitled, These Heifers Be High-Minded. Right. It's more so speaking on Isaiah 4 and 1, which has been in the spirit, been seeing brothers do lessons on it, you know what I'm saying? And most definitely we at that point of where WW3 is, it's popping, you know, it's on going. All right, the grease is in the pot and it's sizzling. Okay, so all you gotta do is throw the chicken in, right? That's what's happening, you know. So it's beautiful to see it popping off, to see it happen and how it's happening. And we know with that, it's gonna come drafts. It's gonna come individuals being drafted, right? Mandatory drafts, okay, rebellions, okay, sedition among men. You know, let's hit a couple of those. This is let's go to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Let's start at 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to error and destroy the way of thy paths. Now children being your oppressors, who, first of all, how can you be an oppressor, right? You have to oppress. Who is being oppressed at this point in time? When you look around, who is oppressed? I'm at this lake, all right? Who owns this lake? Then I know Jake, I know Israelites. And even to use this lake, you have to have privilege. You have to ask somebody. You know, these individuals with their boats down there, They have to ask because the lake is actually blocked off. So who controls the resources, the water, the electricity, the power, all of that? Who controls the energy? Okay, you got to ask yourself that. And why are they holding it and harboring it, not giving it freely? That's a form of oppression right there, where you have to pay for water. When did they create water? No, they did not. You know, but they're making you pay for water, electricity. They didn't create electricity. Okay, this is something that you take from the earth, right? They didn't create this lake, you know? So they are oppressing us in many different ways, many different forms and fashions. This is how these devils do, man. They want their hand on everything. This is why they're in another man's land telling that man what to do right now in Iran. The same way they went to Venezuela, the same way they go into every single country. You know, that's the way the Romans always did. If you go into, hey, I was watching, man, I just began to watch Spartacus. I'm rewatching it. I watched it in the world like 2012, 2013, back then, you know, but I'm rewatching it now in the truth, knowing that those are Jakes, knowing that those are people. Spartacus was a Jake, you know, and I'm seeing the way that they made a contract with him to go and fight these barbarians, but then Rome, they reneged on the contract. They said, nah, we going this way, we ain't gonna save your people. And what happened in Spartacus? His people got slaughtered. His village got burnt up. The Romans said, we ain't even care, we don't even care, right? And then what happened? He tried to go and help his people, and the Romans came and locked him up, and now he became a gladiator, right? So this is what they did constantly. And this is, you can go look this up in the history. Most of the nations they joined with to fight these wars with, afterwards, they would have an issue with that nation, create some kind of issue, and then they would take over that nation. And this is how they expanded. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. They would expand off of working with that nation to conquer another nation, and then they would conquer that nation that worked with them, right? This is how these Edomites do, man. So you have these children, and they're our oppressors. They don't have no understanding. They're children, right? They're moving in a fashion that's not wise. It's not desired. It's bringing wickedness. It's pushing wickedness. It's no understanding. So these heathens oppress. Going back to who owns this lake. Edomites. So you can't freely come and go. So you Israel individuals out there, man, you got everything. You think you're not a slave. You can't even freely come and go. All right, we got some individuals, man. Hey, I saw this video. I gotta do a lesson on it later on. This chick, she independent black woman. You know how they be. All right, and she's in Dubai right now, stuck like Chuck. You know, talking about, I came over here to celebrate my 30th birthday, but now they saying I can't leave. I'm stuck. You in Dubai, you know, and celebrating her birthday or whatever. Hey, she probably went over there to get shitted on, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's what a lot of our women do. So anyway, she's stuck. Jake does not know how to sit their ass down, man. This is not the time. This is not the time to be partying, to be traveling, traversing the earth, when this is what? This is a time of war. But if you don't have Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, how would you know that? Okay? So these children are our oppressors, and women rule over them. Women rule over us. The woman has compassed the man. Big mama making all the rules, all the decisions in the household. She thinks she's the matriarch. I mean, the patriarch, but she's calling herself a matriarch now. You know, where everybody meeting at? Everybody meeting at Big Mama house. Okay, she's making all the decisions. Blase blah. Grandfather, he just sitting back. He just, you know, a zombie in a chair, basically. All right. She stay at church. She don't stay at home. She not taking care of a man. She not tending to a man. She constantly on the go. She tending to pastor. That's not your husband, though. You know? So the mindset of the oppressor has given this woman that mindset, right? Where she seeks after those that are cleaving to the oppressor, because the pastor is cleaving to the oppressor. You know? So the oppressor, children are your oppressors, and women rule over you. They go hand in hand. This is going back to the garden, where the serpent, which was Eve, knowing that that's a man, Nakash being a warlock, a wizard, right? His sidekick became, that's Esau, Salakia, all right? His sidekick became Eve. So she's once again working with that damn devil. You independent, strong black women, okay? You don't understand by being in that mindset, being in that way, being high-minded, being haughty, being all of this. You are working with the white man. You are helping his warfare against us. By our women being polluted and tainted, you know, that's what's going on. Hey, Shalawam to the brothers and sisters in the comments. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak. Hey, good to see you, bro. Nakaf, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Shalawam, man. Okay. Oh, my people, they which lead thee cause thee to error and destroy the way of thy paths. These YNs, most of the time, ain't got no father in the home. Right? That's what be going on. No father, no guidance, no uncles, you know, none of that. Alright, Salaki, it's getting hot out here. And it's getting hot out here. Look in the sky. Okay? Esau is what? They're trying to fight back the heat and all of that that's happening. Because they don't operate well in the sun. You know what I'm saying? They don't operate well. They get melanoma. They get cancer. That's what happens to them in these conditions. Right? But these people lead thee, they cause thee to error and destroy the way of thy paths. So this devil, if you follow behind him, playing follow the leader, and you're following the wrong leader, which your leader should be Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? And for you women, your leader should be your man who follows Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You got to understand, you're going to be put on the right path if you follow that man that's following Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man. Stated right there. And the head of Hamashiach is power. This has not changed. The Most High does not change. So Jacob is not consumed. And Yahawashi is the same yesterday, right? Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next millennium. Yahawashi is the same. Okay? Yahawah is the same. Like father, like son. So this order, this decree, which was put up, which you can also find in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, right? Let's go get that. It does not change. Now, even though, yeah, the woman shall compass the man, that's a prophecy. But you righteous women, you would understand, you got to follow that man. You're not going to be that woman that's trying to surround and compass the man and rule the man and take him over and all of this. Okay? You're not going to go make Esau your baby daddy. All right? You're not going to join into the government being another welfare baby. You know? This is foolishness. This is verse 16, Genesis 3. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So 1 Corinthians 11 and 3 supports. These are precepts, right? This was a commandment. This was something that was told to you. This is not going to change. You women are under the men. You are the lesser vessel. You came from Adam. Okay? So Adam was given that preeminence, that position, and that is Yahawashi who was given preeminence. That's also in Colossians, the 1st chapter. You know, so the man is always above the woman. And any woman that does not agree with that, they don't feel it, they don't like it, they don't enjoy it, then kick rocks. You know, we don't want you around. Okay? But you will come back. If you're an Israelite woman, or regardless, heathen woman, whatever, you will come back. Heathen, you're going to be in chains. You're going to be serving. Could possibly be a concubine if you act right. Right? And for you Israelite women, you will be princes and you will be a wife of a righteous man. You will be back in your right mind. All right? It will be no more high-mindedness, no more attitudes, no more talking back, no more none of that. No more toxicity. Right? It will be no more of you following behind the damn devil Esau to destroy your man. You really can't understand that you've been manipulated and you've been formed as a weapon. But we also know no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So even your woman, to the brothers, man, you know, your woman is being formed as a weapon towards you, but that weapon shall not prosper, man. You know? But, hey, she has been formed. We understand that. Now, going back to the topic where we still on it, these heifers are high-minded. I'm delivering stuff, DoorDash, doing stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? And I go into a lot of medical offices, like with nurses, where it's damn near 90% women, you know? And some of them be cool, some of them be like whatever, some of them be tripping, whatever, you know? I'm just there to bring the food. All right, here you go. You know, and I'm out. So went into one day, female, it was like, not attractive, none of that. But she looking down, she talking crazy to me like, yeah, put it right there. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. Cause I'm like, I just gotta drop this off. I gotta take a picture and I'm gone. You know, ain't no reason for you to have no attitude. And whatever you going through, you take it out on the delivery guy. You know, you first of all, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So these women, just because you a nurse and you may think you making a little bit of money or whatever it may be, all right? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to humble that shit. This is what Isaiah 4:1 is going to do. A lot of you women are going to be brought down low on your knees and you're going to be begging and crawling to those delivery men, to those men that you look so down on, all right, or you wouldn't even spit on. That's how these women be looking at us, man. You know. But hey, it is what it is. Let's go to Barak, the 9th chapter. Cause in my head at that point, I'm like, okay, you know, here go your food, boom, boom, boom. In my head, I'm just like, wait, just wait, cause it's gonna come a day when these guys that you look down upon are going to be the guys that you begging and pleading to take you in. Can we have your name? Can we have your name? Right? Matter of fact, let's get some more in that Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. All right, this is verse 13. Yahawah standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. Yahawah will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof, for you have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor, saith Yahawah, power of hosts? The heathens, okay, they oppress us, they beat us to pieces. Gentrification is a perfect example of seeing where Jake moves into an area and rent is whatever it is, and then 2 years later rent has almost doubled, right? Or at least 500, 600 has been added to the rent. All right, that's a process of gentrification to run Jake out, you know. And I've been a victim of it, most definitely. All right, that's a common thing that goes on in America. Okay, so Esau is not, you know, is not slick. They're doing their moves. They're talking smooth things, but in their mind is war. Gentrification is what? It's to push Jake out. They say it's to keep it where we'll keep the less desirables out. Who's the less desirable in their eyes? It's Jake. You know, it's to keep Jake out, right? And we understand, y'all, people be on some bullshit. We understand that. You know, I don't want to live around Jake sometimes, cause Jake be on some bullshit, right? But also, it's like, damn, this ain't even your land. You came in here, and you're running it and controlling it and moving it, and it's oppression. At the end of the day, if they could, but they know they can't. But if they could, they would just run us all out and kill us all, and they're gonna come to the point where they're gonna try to take us all out. We understand that, you know, but they need us, because who else gonna do the labor? This is what they understand. Who's gonna do the labor? So you see Esau is setting up his system. He got his robots, he got his autonomous cars. He wants it where, and this is in his mind, this is what they trying to play, this is what they trying to plan, where no more driving. All right, it's just gonna be self-driving cars. You're gonna take your self-driving car to work, self-driving buses, self-driving trucks. No more truck drivers, no more of that. Esau want everything to be on the AI, on the grid. You know, transhumanism, etc., etc. This is his enterprise, but it's not gonna happen. As we know, as it spoke of in the book of Job, all right, Job 5 and 12, right? And it's embarrassing to see our women, once again, because you're in a little high-minded position, you got a little bit of bread, Slovakia, you got a little bit of money coming through, all right, where you feel like you're in a position to talk down and do this and do that to whoever you want to. Okay? You once again, you're helping push the movement and help you aligning with the oppressor, as you always did. Going back to the beginning, man. Okay? Now this is verse 16. Moreover, Yahawah saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and menacing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. The daughters of Zion are haughty, right? Haughty means what? To be high-minded, to think you know it all, a know-it-all. Nobody like that. She thinks she knows it all. Nobody can tell her nothing. Look at Medea. What's that shit? I do bad all by myself, right? And that's how you women is, man. You know, hey, it's strict orders. Hey, when you come in, Shalawam, that's it. You shouldn't be saying nothing else in the comments. You know what I'm saying? This is coming down. If you follow Great Millstone, then y'all women should know that. You know? The order shouldn't be broke. In that sense. Right? The righteous women, they're going to get it. They're going to move in order. They're going to be shamefaced. And they're going to stay their ass in the background. And they're not going to try to be in the front. Okay? They're not going to be in this situation. Therefore, Yahawah will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahawah will discover their secret parts. This is why majority of our women are wearing weaves, wigs, extensions, all that type of stuff, bundles, whatever, lace fronts, whatever they want to call it. And what just came out? Those things are cancerous. They're full of all these toxins. They got rituals on them. This Indian hair has got Hinduism with rituals on them. Okay? These women pray to a false god. They cut off their hair, and then you get that hair. You get the remainder. You know? And then you getting a lot of hair that's like rat hair, animal hair, horse hair, all this bullshit that you're getting. This is why y'all think y'all doing something, but this is why your hair won't grow anymore. Because you're trying to divert your curse. It's a curse to you. And you basically telling the Most High, yeah, you won't let my hair grow, so what? I'm gonna just get some bundles. And you shooting yourself in the foot. Cause you high-minded, man. I'm gonna get some extensions. And I know this from experience. All right. 5 years ago, you know, helped my ribs stop that shit because I don't like that shit. Right? And now her hair grows. Take care of it. Stop wearing all that bullshit. You know? Actually take care of your hair. Pray. Fast. You got to get all these toxins up out of your body. The same with the makeup. That shit is hella chemicals. These women, they wonder why they so fucking toxic. Excuse my French, but because they are. Alright? Because all they got is these chemicals chemicals mess with your mood swings. This is why this food, it messes with your mood. This food, it messes with your pH balance, all this type of stuff. Going into the next part, verse 17 again. Therefore, Yahawah will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahawah will discover their secret parts. Okay? This is why, hey, women, like fish markets out here, man. All right? And how much more in Jacob's trouble when you can't get your feminine supplies, you can't get your rag stuff. You're not going to be able to take a proper bath. Okay? Water's not going to be running. The resources are going to be with who? With the rich. With the Edomites. You're not going to have resources. The closest thing you might have is a bottle of water, and you got to wash your ass with that. All right? If you don't trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, I'm talking to you women in the world. Because we're going to be provided for. We're going to be taken care of, and we believe that because Isaiah 65:13 states that. And we believe that also through faith. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to protect us and keep us, man. But you women that's high-minded and you don't care, you saying, you going to align with Esau, go ahead. Right? The white man, bro, he going to, as soon as it get going, he going to kick your ass to the curb. He ain't gonna deal with you. You just a plaything for him like you was in slavery. That's all you is. It's a plaything for the white man. Alright? Verse 18. In that day, Yahawah will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments. This is humbling about their feet, and their calls and their round tires like the moon. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. Going into all that, right? Our women used to be decked out, just the point being made. They used to be decked out. Okay? Hey, you get this individual up out of here. Alright. Alright. Before I get you up out of here, the name is Yahawah. It's no E, O, U, or V in the Hebrew. Okay? You need to go do some research on that, buddy. Yeah, he bugged. How I use on channel. Alright, cool. Alright. So our women used to be decked out. They used to be fly. Earrings and nose rings and bracelets, gold, everything. All this type of stuff. Okay? Salt of the earth, flavor, all of that. Right? Different, they used to change clothes, different clothing, all that. Alright? Now let's go down to 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there should be stink. What also contributes to that? The food, as we said earlier, your pH balance. So these fast food queens, you stay at McDonald's, you stay in the Burger King, McDonald's drive-thru, you stay eating some Chick-fil-A, which you think you smart. Chick-fil-A got the most chemicals in any chicken sandwich. Worse than Popeyes. But since it's marketed as a Christian establishment and it's marketed as somewhat more professional than, so you think you doing something by going to Chick-fil-A every day except Sunday. You're not doing that. You're actually putting more chemicals in your body than these other spots. Alright? And it's not real food. It's not real chicken. Ooh, how we know that? Because it comes out every single day, bro. I saw a video that did the math on chicken and how much they manufacture it, and burgers and how much they manufacture it, and how many animals they would need. They don't have that many animals. So where is this meat coming from? 1 + 1, all right? So that right there is destroying you. This is what's contributing to that sweet smell that's not there anymore. It's a stink. The food that you eat. You don't fast. You don't pray. You don't call on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You don't have a balance. You just eat 3 times a day and lay down and then repeat. Your body never has a chance to reset, all right, and cleanse out. Okay? On your rag, I bet you a lot of these women still letting men go in them. So your body never has a chance to fully clean out, or you let your man go on you after you stop bleeding like 3 days in. You're supposed to let the whole 7-day period transpire. And you can actually look that up. All right, that's in the scriptures, most definitely. And then you can look it up in a scientific matter. It shows you that your body is still cleansing on that 4th day, that 5th day, that 6th day. All right, just because you're not bleeding anymore does not mean that your body is not still doing a process. Right? Yahawah wrote it down in the law for you to stop messing with a woman that's bleeding, that has an issue of blood for 7 days for a reason. All right, he ain't just had these things written down for no reason, man. And instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. Going back to that nurse that looked at me like I was the scum of the earth. This heifer had the nerve to be looking like that, and she over here 250, 300. I'm like, you what? You need to humble down, shawty. Okay, you need to chill out. You know, and those chemicals, those toxins, it really sets you up to not be able to control your emotions, not to be able to control your anger, all this type of stuff. So when something is ticking you off, these demons jumping on you, you just reacting. It's because what you're taking in, what you're eating. All right? So your food has a major part to play on your mood. Food, mood. You know, those go hand in hand. Food, mood. Right? And then more so on that, instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty, of a girdle of rent, instead of a girdle, a rent. These women are that they don't snap back. You know, after they have babies and all, they don't snap back. They got their weight, they got all this, bodies is messed up. You know, they don't know how to get back into that figure they used to have beforehand. Okay? So it's all a part of the curses. It's all a part of what you're cursed with. Because you're not living the proper way that the Most High has ordained. You're eating roaches and passing them off as food, as delicacies. You're eating lobsters, which are nothing but, just look at them, they're roaches, man. They're literally classified as bugs. All right? They're literally classified as bugs. Lobsters, crabs. Okay? But you're calling them seafood. These are bottom feeders. You're eating shrimp. Those are the roaches of the sea. All right, so you're eating catfish. What do they do all day? Eat poop at the bottom of the lakes. You know, you're eating octopus, squids. These are not things that you're supposed to be ingesting. They're not clean. So this is another reason, man. So if you don't keep these laws, commandments, and statutes, everything is gonna happen to you how it's supposed to. And it's also going to affect your mental, your mood, and your mental, your mind. The gut is a major part of your decision making. That's why they got that saying, your gut feeling. So if your gut is you got a piss poor gut, you're not cleaning your gut out, then your decision making ain't going to be that accurate. You ain't going to be getting, your brain capacity ain't going to be at 100%. It's like when you got a computer or you got a phone and you got too much, the storage is almost clogged up. You know, you got to delete some stuff. That's what fasting does. You got to delete this file, delete this file, delete this file, right? So your RAM, your random access memory can operate faster. You can access more data quicker and faster. When you fast, you have more energy to think. And your brain is working at a higher capacity, man, because your digestive system is shutting down. It's shut down. So that power that used to go to the digestive system is being, converted or diverted or whatever, whatever the word is, to the brain, to the neuron, your nervous system. All right. So it makes sense. That's what they made a computer. They make the computer off the body. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thou mighty in the war. Draft, all right, WW3, everything that's taking place right now. Okay, Iran, I saw an article, Iran is set up, it said Iran is set up for a long-term war. America is not set up for that. Trump said the war will be over in 4 weeks. Iran said, let's go. We've been ready for this. We shutting down everything. Let's get it. We've been waiting. It's like, I wish a nigga would and a nigga did. That's how Iran been feeling. They wish a nigga would and a nigga did. Okay? So they've been ready to go. They said the stuff they using is 20 years old. We ain't even... I saw that Fatah 2 missile, that hypersonic missile they got. You can't stop that. That mess is coming, it's coming in at Mach, I believe it's coming in at like Mach 10. All right, it's over Mach 5, I know that. Okay, I saw a video of it. I did a video of it on my last video. That shit is coming in super, super fast, man. It's similar to what Russia used in Ukraine, It's basically the same missile. So Iran has been waiting on this. And then you got the Dragons of Arabia, which is in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. I brought it out yesterday. I ain't gonna bring it out again, but they're basically aligning with one another because America left them out there high and dry. They supposed to have air defenses over there, but no, they put all their air defenses to defend Israel. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. America being the snake that it always is, leaving your allies high and dry in a time of war. You know what I'm saying? So, your men, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thou mighty in the war. Your men are going to be drafted. All right? Pookie and Ray Ray, all of them. They're going to be drafted. They're going to be sent over to the valley of Yahawashi, Jehoshaphat, right? And they're going to die in the war. You're not going to see him no more. He's done. He's gone. Okay? He's going to die in an ICBM missile. Or he's going to die in some gruesome way. War is gruesome, man. War is extremely cruel. It's full of noise. It's full of, as the scriptures say, it's full of chaos and noise, loosely quoting. It's not something to admire, because it's just full of death, right? Now we know we need it for us to take this kingdom. We got to take the kingdom. The kingdom shall be took by force. It's going to be took in pain. Yahawashi is bringing the sword, not peace, right? Now, but to get to that, he is the Prince of Peace. So to get to that peace, you got to have war, okay? So this is what has to take place. So your men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war. They're going to die by the war, the draft, all right? Being drafted, being sent over there to fight in the war, okay? And then, if that doesn't happen, all right, let's say he just somehow doesn't go to the war. He's going to die in the Civil War. He's going to die in the purge that's going to happen in America. So you have 2 wars that's going to be happening, right? You have a rebellion, sedition of men over here, and then you have WW3 over there and everywhere. So he's not going to make it. The only men that's going to make it is the men that are with Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. All right? So then you women are going to be what? You're going to be widows. You're going to be in a desperate position. You're no longer going to have a man. You're not going to have protection. You're not going to have a hedge around you. Okay? So you're going to be widows, and you're going to what? You're going to run and beg and crawl on your knees to the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and beg them to take you in. And brothers is going to deny a lot of you, man. Because once again, you high-minded. Okay? Brothers ain't got to accept you. Isaiah 4:1, brothers accept who Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi ordains for them to accept. If you got 8 kids by 4 niggas, you most likely not getting accepted. 100% by me, no. Hell no. All right? I'm saying? Yahawah to Zah, I hope I be of that number. And that's all we doing. You know what I'm saying? But brothers ain't going to accept every single woman that comes. It's going to be a lot of nope, no can do. Sorry, can't help you. You better pray to Jesus. Wasn't you calling on him last week? That you got? That's you got, right? That's what you was saying 2 years ago when we was telling you. You was talking about, no, Jesus gonna fix, Jesus gonna, Jesus. That's what you was saying. All right? A major humbling is coming to the high-mindedness of these Israelite women, man. And all women in general. Verse 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So these women are going to cry. They're going to break down. They're going to understand that they were wrong. Everything they chased and they searched out in their life was incorrect. It was improper. It wasn't what they were supposed to go after. The men, the values that they had in a man wasn't the correct and proper values. They had values of the world. They valued the nice car. They valued the money. They valued the clothes that a man got on. The clothes don't make the man. You understand? The car don't make the man. The job don't make the man. The money don't make the man. But you value these carnal things because you're a carnal individual. This is what these women are soon going to find out. You never actually valued integrity, characteristics, morals. All right? Does he trust? Does he believe? Does he know the word? Okay? Let's go to Proverbs 31. Start at the top. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him, what, my son, and what, the son of my womb, and what, the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. This is what, man, shoot, I wish I knew this precept like 10 years ago, right? Give not thy strength unto women, man, okay? So it's having a control over you're not falling into lust. You're not falling into that simp atmosphere. You're not falling into allowing a woman to control you, manipulate you, throw you left and right just based upon box or looks or, whatever. Okay? So it's extremely important, man. And First Ezra is a good book based upon that. What's that? First Ezra 6. It slips the mind, but basically many men have lost their wits they lost their life over women, man. They lost their mind over women. And that's constant. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay? So as men, you gotta be able to control your emotions and control yourself, your desires, this flesh. This is what we in. We in practice. We in training. We working over these desires, these things in this wicked flesh. And we ain't even have to worry about this flesh when we get that everlasting body. Right? So we really working on making these decisions in small matters and large matters. And not moving off of just because she's attractive or whatever. Attraction ain't gonna pay the bills, baby. I don't care what you look like. It's not shit. Wait, what Kanye say? The prettiest people do the ugliest things on the road to riches and diamond rings, right? So, oh, she a 10, bro. She a 10. Yeah, she a 10, but her box is for sale. All right, that's what most of these women be on. They box be for sale, all on the internet, OnlyFans, Instagram, So let's go to Sirach, the 9th chapter. I'm beginning to wrap it up. This is, we'll start at the top. Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. And this is major for not falling into that simp category, not falling into allowing a woman to rule over you. All right? Not letting a woman trick you or play you. You don't, this is the common practice of women, especially today. We see it, we hear about it in the news and stuff like that. Women, you know, you meet a woman at the club or something, if you still partake in that, it is what it is. I don't fuck with clubs, but it is what it is, you know. Control of your spirit, rule of your spirit. Know that's a high temptation spot. You know what I'm saying? But women meeting dudes at clubs, getting with a dude, and just to set them up and rob them, just to get them drunk, maybe Luffy them or whatever, get them back to the hotel, then have two dudes come in and rob them. That's the oldest trick in the book, man. That's one of them tricks. You know, this happens to a lot of dudes. You get caught unawares because you dealing with her because you thought, hey, she bad, I'm about to get some. Boom, boom, boom. You moving off the lust. You moving off the desire of the flesh. And you getting yourself caught up in the okie doke. Right? It's verse 3. Meet not with a harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. That's it. So that's the same thing in Isaiah 4:1. Like, you know, we're not just picking women just because of how they look. Okay? It's not about how you look. It's you. And when you're dealing with a woman, it's like, is she a woman? Is she wifey material? You got wifey material. Wifey material ain't really got nothing to do with looks. Now, we got our looks. Yeah, we got our type. That is what it is. But still, you having enough wisdom to understand she got to have these traits. She got to be able to do this. She got to be able to do that. Can she take care of this? Can she take care of that? Is her crib clean? Is she going to keep my crib clean? Does she know how to take care of kids? Right? How does she occupy herself? How does she occupy her time? You know, these things are important, and red flags have to be noted, right? Because you don't want to invest, because a woman is really an investment. You're going to have to, and not talking about even money, but time. You're going to have to put time in a female. Okay, so if she wanting more time than you got, and you more time than you give Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, that's an automatic no. That's an automatic no. Yeah, nah, you know, keeping it going. Verse 4, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. And that goes back into exactly what I just said, though. You don't prioritize a woman at the top. No, she's not at the top. And if she can't get with that, she got to get going. You're not at the top. You like a close third, you know, maybe a second, right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is at the top. Okay? And all that pertains unto him. Studying, growing, doing the lessons, reading, watching videos, camp, you know what I'm saying? So, and then the family. This is about forsaking all these things for Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. If you love your life, you shall lose it. If you lose your life, you shall gain it. Lucy Crow. And so, you can't love nothing over Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Right? Verse 5. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. You lose all. Look at what's that dude? I forgot his name, but I know the girl, Anna Nicole Smith. She got with that old dude. Yeah, he was like a millionaire or billionaire or something. And she tried to take all his money. You know, he died with her. You know, he lost all his, everything that he had went to her. You know, and these things are common. These things happen. Because these guys, these Edomites ain't got no damn wisdom. They do all that work. They do all that, and then they give it all to a quick hit, man. You know? So, you don't give your soul unto a harlot, a loose woman. A woman that's out here for everybody. What they say, she for the streets. You don't deal with that. Okay? And really, what you make at this, like, this shit don't matter. You know? We build up our treasures in heaven. Our conversation is with Yahawashi, man. It's up in the heavens. All right? Philippians 3:20. So our conversation is in the next. So everything that we building up, you can't really see. It's spiritual. We got spiritual bank accounts. Right? You could take everything we got from us that's carnal And guess what? We still rich men, you know, keeping it going. So don't let nobody take your crown. So that includes a woman. Verse 7, look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Exactly. And scripture also says in Sirach 26, take not a woman for pleasure. I believe so. You know, let me see if I can find it. So you don't take a woman just because of the way she look. You don't take her just because of intercourse. All right, that's not a reason to get with a woman, because many have fell from that. Okay, I don't see it. It might be in 25. Right here, 25, Sirach, and 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Desire her not for pleasure. And that's really fighting that flesh over these desires. These things that, and these are worldly traits, because that's what's taught to us in the world. Right? This, that, boom, boom, boom. She looks like this, she look like that, or she look like an Instagram model. Well, who the hell said that was the standard of beauty? All right, that's like I'm like, when I was like, yo, like I looked at models like Tyra Banks and all that dumb shit. Why is that the standard of beauty? Them bitches look like sticks. That's the standard of beauty? That's not beautiful. At least not to me. You know, that's not the standard of beauty. All right, man, beauty is on the inside, man. Okay? Let's keep it going. I'm gonna get a little bit more of this, man. I'm gonna break it off. Verse 9, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thy heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Exactly. You don't want to ever put yourself in that temptation, of being around another man's wife. That's not a good look. Okay. You know, you go see a brother and the brother ain't there and only his wife is there, leave. I come back later. All right, you should have the respect. Okay, the respect of that brother and respecting his household. You know. And on the flip side, as a man, don't put your woman out there. You know, all on the internet, posting your woman all on that. I see that shit every day on Facebook, man. These dudes hella goofy. They just posting their woman all throughout the story, posting their woman all on the pictures, posting we did this, we did that, boom, boom, boom. You know, it's like, okay, you know, don't you think if you like her, you just giving room to temptation. Other dudes probably looking at your woman like, oh yeah, that's her. Oh yeah, it could have been mine. Yeah, you know, that's how niggas is. Especially niggas in the world. Okay? So you don't post your woman like that, man. Alright? Because it's giving room to that temptation. Where is our women gonna be when we in the kingdom? Our women ain't coming to Passover with us. You know, it ain't no, I'm gonna pick my first wife and my seventh wife and they gonna come to Passover. No, they not coming to Passover. Right? They gonna be at the crib. We going to Passover. We gonna fellowship with Yahawashi. You know? Your women gonna be where they supposed to be. Keepers at home. Right? Pumping out children. Where they supposed to be. So those are yours. Those are your substances. Those are your treasures. That's your possession. Right? I'm not. Shoot, you got, let's say you got your favorite watch. You're not about to take it out and let everybody see it and put it on the table. Hey, y'all see this watch? Nah, man. That's yours. You rock that. You wear that. You showcase it how you want to. You don't, you know? So have some, it's ownership about it. You don't put it out there for everybody to see. It's more so being discreet too. Practicing discretion. All right. Let me see. Anything else up in here? Hey, Shalawam to my brother Kakama, man. Good to see you out. Bahasham, Barak, Ahtham to y'all brothers. Yeah. Hey, Kakama, man. You still on here, bro? You got to start putting them on the YouTube now, man. Because I ain't got TikTok no more, so I can't see your lessons no more. Start putting them on the YouTube. Baba Kashar. All right. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. All right. These women high-minded, and they're gonna be humbled, and they're gonna be brought low. They're gonna be brought to a position of understanding where they understand that they fucked up. Everything that the YT man was selling them was incorrect, was improper, and it was for their destruction. Okay, the devil is. It's like you playing poker and he playing with you the whole time, acting like he ain't got 2 aces about to run your ass, but he got it. He got that double. He got that hot hand, you know. So he about to strike, and then once he hits you, you like, damn, what can I do? I can't do nothing. That's how you women gonna be, right? You either gonna humble down and you gonna go to the men of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, or you gonna keep that independent mindset and die alone, or die at the end of a train. And you know what we talking about. We ain't talking about the little engine that could. All right? That's what's happening. Lawlessness. You know, if you don't like it, it don't matter if you don't like it. That's what it is. The women shall be ravished in the streets. When we talking about lawlessness, we talking about no cops are coming. No ambulance is coming. Okay? No fire truck. Your house on fire. Let's say you one of those doomsday preppers and somebody know you've been prepping and you got all your food in the shed. What if they take a Molotov cocktail, throw that shit through your window, and you trying to put out the fire? They taking all your food out your shed because they know. That goes back to your possessions. Keep discretion. You don't need to let everybody know what you got. All right? And you doomsday prepping dudes, y'all ain't got no type of faith. You know? It's going to be all out war. These people have guns and they want to use them. These good old boys, they wearing ICE uniforms now. And they've been prepping for all this. They've been ready for all this. They been practicing shooting. They got their little kids practicing shooting. They got 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds know how to handle a shotgun. It don't matter what age, man. One hit from that, your ass gonna sit down. All right? This is not a war that's gonna be won by carnal means. But we're gonna see a lot of carnal actions happen from a lot of carnal people. And you women that think you want to be in the middle of that, you going to think again when you see somebody's head get blown off right beside you, man. You going to wish and hope that you had gave all the men that came up to you and tried to get your number, you wish you had gave them some play. All right? Because you're going to be alone. You're going to feel that, man. He is known as the king of terrors. So your worst nightmares is going to be that times 144,000, man. Believe that. All right. So, hey, with that being said, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. A double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. I pray this was an edifying lesson. You know, Kwam Yasharahla. As always, a Baba Ball to his wicked kingdom. May Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi destroy this bitch yesterday. All right. If you can't see the light, you living in darkness. Shalawam, Shalawam.